Hello and welcome to another segment of Open House here at Community Media. I am Raymond Galker. This is the show where we celebrate who we are and what we do as a community. We invite awesome people into the studio who are doing great things in our community, and we share with you all those things. And did you ever wonder what your purpose in life is? Does God really have a purpose for every one of us? We have a school district here in Adams County, and that's their mission. Their mission is to help the individuals that go to their school and the community, the parents, the donors, everyone. They help them find God's purpose and help them fulfill that purpose. And we have the principal, Karissa Costello, and a teacher, Lara Wible, with us here at the studio today. And we're going to be talking about the Freedom Christian Schools. Karissa, thanks for being here. And you are the principal.
Yes.
Can you tell us about Freedom Christian Schools?
Well, thank you so much for having us. It is such a blessing to be here today and to talk about Freedom Christian Schools. It is a passion of mine, and I honestly love my job and I love talking about it. So Freedom Christian Schools is a preschool 3 through 12th grade Christian school it is presently in Gettysburg, but we just purchased a new building right in New Oxford, and so we are doing renovations right now, and that's where we're going to be hopefully in the near future.
I'm sure you're excited about your new location.
Yes, we are.
So,
yes.
The location is at the old New Oxford Social Club.
Yes.
Which then became an antique center. A really nice location. Mm-hmm. I bet you're pumped.
It's been a lot of work. We have gutted it entirely, and we are putting in a new sprinkler system, a new electric, elevator. So it's going to be completely up to date once we get into the building.
Okay, and you have a friend that you brought with you today?
Yes.
Lara Wible?
Yes.
And you're a teacher there?
I am. I've been there for nearly 20 years now.
Okay, and what do you teach?
I had the privilege of teaching kindergarten for over 10 years. I had my foot in the door with first grade for a couple of years, and I'm excited that this year I'll be stepping in and teaching Bible for our 7th through 12th graders. In addition to that, I teach Spanish 1 and 2 for our 9th and 10th graders, and also music for our kindergarten through our 6th graders.
So you'll teach music one day a rotation?
It is 1 day a week, but then we also aim toward our production shows, which are held at the Intersection Church in Gettysburg. We have a Christmas show and a spring production.
And Spanish is something that's taught every day?
Sí. Not every day, not every day. We offer that twice a week to our students.
Twice a week?
Twice a week.
And Bible is?
Primarily every day.
Every day?
Yes.
Every day. And that's the same with your preschool up to 6th grade? Bible is part of something that's taught every day?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, your mission is for the school?
Our mission is to help students to identify what their purpose is. God has created all of us with a purpose, and many of us walk through life without knowing what our purpose is. And so our goal is to help them to identify what that goal is, and then to begin to prepare and walk into that. And
this isn't like, boom, a brand new school. This is something we're just starting. Freedom Christian Schools you've been around for many years.
Yes. We started in September 11th, 2000. And so we have been around for 23 years now.
Okay. And you've been with Freedom Christian Schools for how many years?
2002. So I left for a short period and then came back. So I've been inadvertently here since 2002.
For a while,
Yes.
huh? Yes. And Laura, you've been associated with the school for
Nearly 20 years, since 2004.
20 years, both of you.
Yes.
Wow. So how many other teachers do you have? What's your staff like?
We have about 15. Some of them are part-time, some of them are full-time. And then we have a lot of parents that come in to be aides to help, whether it's to clean, whether it is to help with lunches. So we give a lot of opportunities for parents to be a part of the school as well.
And your school is unique.
Very much so, yes.
How is it different?
Tag me. Oh. Something that's really dear to my heart is the way that we're able to give the students the one-on-one individual attention versus being engulfed in a larger sized classroom and kind of getting lost in the shuffle of things. I also really love the way that we get to see students experience breakthrough through having one-on-one interactions with the teachers.
So it's a small class size. Small being about what number?
Our graduating class this year was 2. So we have had anywhere from 2 students to, we have had between 15, 20 students in a classroom. But most of the time it is, well, it varies.
It varies, okay. And the other focus that you have is on the individual.
Yes.
So it's a small classroom and you focus on the individual. How do you do that differently than they might in another educational situation?
Well, it starts with God. And so we are a praying staff. All of our staff are born-again believers. And so that, I think, changes the culture entirely. And so when a student is having a bad day, you don't immediately send them out of the classroom to the principal. You try and find out what the problem is. And sometimes it's just the kid needs a hug because they had a bad morning. And so seeing them not as just a problem, but seeing them as a whole student, it changes. It changes how we are able to interact with them. And when students see that it is a secure environment, a loving environment, then they respond to that.
So your discipline, what model of discipline are you using? How do you discipline your students? You don't have to discipline your students, do you?
Well, I try, the best teacher in the world was Jesus. And so I try to think of how he would respond. And there was one time when I had a student that found the art teacher had dropped a tube of paint, and he was outside and squirted it all around, including the sidewalk and his best friend and the wall. And as people were taking the trash out, they walked through it back into the building, through the whole entire building. And I was sitting there rather upset with him. And as I said to him, how many times do I have to have this conversation with you? God said to me, you weren't able to change without me. How are you expecting him to change without me? And I was like, oh, okay. So instead of being across the desk from him, I walked to the other side and sat beside him and just started sharing and shared that, you know, I couldn't change without Jesus, so do you want, and he said that, you know, he didn't want to keep doing this and he didn't know why. And so we were actually able to just share, and he accepted Christ that day. Okay. And so when I had the conversation with his mom, I called and she's like, what did he do this time? Oh. And I said, actually, no, that isn't true, because she said, as soon as he got home today, he said, Mom, I got saved.
Oh, okay.
And so instead of the negative, there was a positive that came out of it, which could change his life.
Mm-hmm. So you have more than 2 students, right?
Oh, yeah.
About how many students do you have? So the building over here around the old social club, how many students will you have in that building?
Fire marshal says the maximum is like 275. So that would be with staff and students.
Okay. So how many students do you have?
Presently, we have over 100 enrolled right now.
Okay.
I don't know what the specific number is.
And you also have online opportunities?
Yes, we have an online academy.
Okay, okay. So you've been around, the school's been around, there's a history. It's been around, you've both been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
When did you say it started?
2000.
The school did?
Yep.
2000. So do you have alumni?
Yes.
Do you have any alumni that you could share what they're doing today?
We have a variety. I mean, alumni have gone into a variety of different career paths. One of our alumni is actually working here with you. Sean and
Sean Garrett.
his children are attending our school.
Okay.
We have students that have gone into the military, students that have become engineers, gone into art and graphic design. We have students that have become pastors, missionaries, entrepreneurs. We have a couple of students that own their own, or alumni, sorry, that own their own business, and their children are now our students, and they're coming back and helping us in different ways.
Such as Sean Garrett.
Yes, yes.
So what sets your alumnus apart from any other person in the community?
I feel like part of that goes back to one of your questions, what sets us apart as a school, and helping them identify what their purpose and their calling is. I believe that we have the opportunity to set and build on a more solid foundation for them to really grab a hold of who God created them to be and what that purpose is, so that when they leave our nest, if you will, they're ready to fly with that confidence.
The confidence of knowing what their
Yes.
purpose here is
Yep.
in life. And
When someone knows their purpose, then it doesn't matter what hardship happens, what hardship that they face, because they know this is my purpose. And so I'm going to fulfill this. Whereas if you're kind of wishy-washy and something happens, then you're like, oh, and you kind of, it breaks you.
so they have confidence in who they are, the direction that they're going, the confidence that they are part of something greater than
Yeah.
themselves. And they know what compassion is.
Yeah,
Is that, yeah,
yeah,
cool. It's enjoyable to be like that, isn't it?
yeah, it is.
And you guys are great role models for that, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you have a new building. It's going to be ready for everyone when?
As I keep praying about that, God's response to me is in His appointed time.
When-
So
okay.
when God has released it, then that's when we'll be in.
And in the meantime, you will have classes online and at what location?
We have been, and where we started originally is Freedom Valley Church. And so we have been there. That has been our home for the last 23 years. And so we have been partnering with them all of this time.
You're the principal.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Comes a lot of responsibility.
Yes.
You get to work with wonderful people like Laura.
Yes. God has blessed me.
And you have support. You have a leadership team,
Mm-hmm.
is it, that you were saying? Can you tell us about that structure? So you're the principal,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a team of leaders that work with you.
Yes. God has created us very uniquely in that way. Most schools have a school board, And God has led us to have a leadership team that is made of educators, and we pray together, and a lot of the day-to-day business decisions are made by us. And it is always through a consensus. So if we don't have a unanimous decision, then it's tabled.
Really?
And we pray through it, and like as we bring a new person onto the leadership team, every single person has to agree.
How can you agree what you have for lunch?
We don't.
Wow.
Which shows the Spirit of God is moving in that situation.
How many people are trying to agree? How many people are your leadership team?
There are 6 of us.
There are six of us.
6 of you guys.
Yeah.
And you have to, so you're not the one making all of the decisions.
Right.
Just at the moment, you just got to make sure that they are being implemented.
Yeah.
You have 6 people that's on the leadership team that's making the day-to-day decisions. Well, that's great support for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so but it shows that really the head of the school is God.
Okay.
And you know, all of us we have that consensus because of the Holy Spirit inside of us.
Okay. And you have one layer of leadership above the leadership team, and that is an advisory board. How does that work?
The advisory board has one person from the leadership team on it, and then there are 3 people from the community. We have an accountant, a doctor, actually, I think 2 accountants, and a doctor as part of the leadership team, and, advisory board. And they are there to help guide us through events, fundraising, getting us to liaison with a different community, and to just get our name out there, as well as to help us with the difficult tasks.
Okay. So they help you with your strategy.
Yes.
And they help you with your funding. And then they have faith also.
Yes.
And then it's to the leadership team and the teachers. And the goal is to take those individuals every day. You pray every day with those individuals. You try to help them you help them. You don't try to help them. You help them find their purpose. You help them gain confidence in who they are and what they were meant to be.
Yes.
And you help to give them the skills needed to fulfill their purpose.
Yeah.
You're not busy at all, are you? Oh, that must be fun. Laura.
Yes.
Do you have any stories from your teaching that you could share with us?
One particular story that comes to mind immediately, my little buddy, I won't give his name, but I was able to work with him in kindergarten, and he did have some learning curves. Definitely struggled being on stage in front of people, which is understandable. I think we all walk through that. But a couple years into being at our school and working with him, I saw him overcome that, again, in that small setting. So when we had an opportunity to present to our parents some songs that we have learned in accordance with some things we were doing, I saw him stand up there and participate. He was not able to do that before. Spinning in circles, walking away, but he stood there so sure of himself and participated right along. And I just seized that opportunity. After the song was over, I encouraged and congratulated him in front of the parents that were there. But I asked his permission first, but I just wanted to give honor to how he overcame in that moment, whereas before it almost paralyzed him. So those kinds of stories are what remind me of why we're there when the days get difficult.
So you're an advocate for the kids.
Absolutely.
So every one of your students there are individuals, and you teach them as an individual.
Absolutely.
And you connect with them as that individual.
Yeah.
And your classes are small enough that you could do that.
Can I throw a plug in there? Also really thankful, we've been able to partner with the Intersection Church in Gettysburg to do short-term missions. So we've also had the opportunity to invite our students to participate in those short-term missions trips, and what great success. Wow, I'm so glad I could come. This has changed my life. And even through that, students have said, I want to do this more. How do I get involved with missions? So it's life-changing all the way around.
So now you're saying that they focus on themselves to the point where they realize they're supposed to focus on others.
Yes, absolutely.
But that's really, I mean, the last, has it been 5 years that we have been partnering? And sending students to the Dominican Republic. So when she says short term, it's not like, oh, we're going to the weekend to Baltimore. It's we are going a week to 2 weeks down to the Dominican Republic and living with them, and so seeing an entirely different culture. We've also partnered with churches and helped with renovations, and so we have done some service projects, and that has been interesting because our students have discovered that drywall comes in 2 sheets, and that you should separate them before you try to carry them because they're really heavy.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
But it's great experience because it's not just sitting in the classroom and learning bookwork, but they're doing hands-on things that are helping others. And so that's something that they carry with them forever.
So social activities, giving, sacrificing is a part of the activities that you require of your students.
We have chapel every week, and we take an offering every week, and then each quarter it goes to a different purpose. So the first quarter goes to the school itself to help with renovations or building projects or whatever. Second quarter goes to the community, and so we have given to the police department, we've given to the fire company, we've given to the Lions clubs, just different community nonprofits to help them. The third one is missions, and so usually when a missionary comes and speaks at our church, we're able to give back to them. We've given to the Ukraine. We have sent, years ago with Hurricane Katrina, we would send all kinds of supplies and stuff. And then fourth quarter, it goes to local churches.
Cool. So we are at the end of our time. It was so nice to spend time with you all and hear about Freedom Christian Schools. Lara Wible?
Yes.
Would you like to say something as we finish up here to the people watching us?
I would want to first give a thank you to everybody who took the time to listen to what we came here to say. We're very thankful and happy that you invited us to be here. I believe that Freedom Christian Schools gives families and students an opportunity to be a part of something that's bigger than themselves even before they realize it. So relationships are built that go far beyond our walls that we'll ever know. And I know firsthand that I have benefited from the wonderful families that have walked through our doors.
Cool. And we've benefited also because you guys did a great job with Sean Garrett. What a great guy. Karissa Costello, principal of the Freedom Christian Schools. Would you like to say something?
Freedom Christian Schools is not just a school, but it is something bigger. It is our families, it is helping with the community and helping with different churches. And so it's not just about us. And if anyone wants to partner with us, you're more than welcome. As we talked about purpose, it's great to find purpose and to help others to find that purpose. And so if you want more information, you can go to our website. It's www.freedomchristianschools, and there is an S at the end, .org.
And you will take donations, will you not?
Yes.
And you will take volunteers.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you're open for some more students.
Absolutely.
And this is an opportunity for adults also to find their purpose, as you said.
Yes.
The whole community you're open to. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the summer.
Yes.
Thanks for watching this segment of Open House here at Community Media And if you could find it in your heart to find your purpose and serve, it could be your time, it could be your money. Please contact the Freedom Christian Schools. And until we have time to share some more awesome people with you here from our community, be kind, be safe, and remember, you are the best.